pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. How you living on a Friday morning?
What it do?
Dude, I hate this. And I'm not going to sensationalize this. I will make it what it is. But I hate that when I look at national highlight shows, when I look at websites, one of the top 2 or 3 stories on it is New Mexico State player ejected for punching Liberty player. Robert Carpenter was ejected from the game. New Mexico State won last night at the Pan Am Center, 79-73 in overtime in a Conference USA game over at Liberty. And Robert Carpenter ejected for punching Shiloh Robinson in the face. And Jason Hooten, the head coach, anticipates he will be suspended. Anticipates. I mean, there's no, well, it was a basketball motion he was playing. I mean, right? I'm not missing anything here, am I?
You are not missing anything when you just straight up punch someone in the face.
I mean, I've watched the highlight. I'm watching it again right now. So it's a play in the first half, almost 12 minutes to go, and a shot goes up, and I mean, dude just hit him in the face, right?
Yeah, it's simple as that. Just hits him in the face. And this is a New Mexico State team that's competing, at least playing interesting basketball in conference play. They're doing all the things you hear about in a rebuild. Is getting better, developing. And this is the last thing that program needs, is an incident like this.
That's my point.
This is the last thing it needs, because when this happens, like, oh, and by the way, this is the New Mexico State team that yada, yada, yada.
Jason Hooten's their head coach. And Jason has said and apparently done all the right things. Everybody I talked to, now I've met the coaching staff. I've not met the players down there. But they're, one of the big deals for them was we've got to recruit the right kind of kids. Their program shut down last year. You're well aware. You know everything that happened. And so they had to bring in a guy who was going to clean it up. And Jason Hooten, essentially, I felt like he was doing the right thing. Post-game news conference, Jason Hooten apologized to, who Liberty's coach is, right? Richie McKay, the former Lobo coach. He apologized to Richie. He said that Carpenter's actions were, quote, not acceptable. Quote from Jason Hooten after the game last night. That's not the way we're going to do things here at New Mexico State University. My rule is he won't play on Saturday. Okay. Hooten said that Carpenter is, quote, a really good kid. There's just no room for that in the game at all. End quote. I don't know. I don't know Robert Carpenter at all. I don't. All I know about him, unfortunately, is dude made headlines for throwing a punch. And JJ, this sucks for the program. I mean, they won the game last night. They're competitive in Conference USA. He's a transfer. He was at Mississippi Valley State. He was at St. Bonaventure. Came over. He's a Detroit kid, 6'7". He is a junior. And this is just a black eye. I'm not going to rail on the program. One bad moment should not define a program. But your point was right. And this is why I had no choice, but this is where we had to start today. I had no choice because you all know where the program's coming from. You know what it's been through. And it almost felt like you were getting through it, right? And this drags you back. I don't know. It drags you back exponentially, doesn't it?
Well, it just stirs up stuff that New Mexico State fans, your hope was settling down. Like stuff that's never going to go away, but it's a lot of it still in the legal process. It's moving on. thought you purged all that, which you did.
Yeah.
But a story like this then will just bring up what happened. Be like, oh, by the way, and this is the same program that shut down last year, and then this happened, and that happened. And it's just unfortunate if you're an Aggie fan, because you're going to have to sit there and take it in the news all day.
Yeah. All right, we're here for you today, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. And again, I'm not here to pass judgment on the program. I'm not. Because I think Jason is doing this the right way. Everything I've heard from everybody who I trust down there said that this is the right guy to clean it up. They brought in the right guys. I mean, the people that I know close to the program think that those are really good kids. Aggies are terrific at home. They're 10-1 at home. Their only loss at home this year was that 1-point loss to the Lobos back in December, remember? On December 15th. They're 0-9 away. They're in third place in Conference USA. They're 4-3 in league. And they won a game last night. And that should kind of be the story, shouldn't it?
It should have been the story. But anytime you have a blatant action like this, that's going to the headline, not team wins in overtime.
All right, here's what we're going to do today. We'll go to the phones here, 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us today. 505-246-0610. We've got Bert Kreischer tickets to give away. We're going to do that at 7:30. We'll do it at 8:15, and we'll do it at 9:45. Pair of tickets to go see Bert Kreischer out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. I think you'll enjoy that show. He's very, very funny. So we'll give away 3 sets of tickets here on the show today. Guest list coming up at 8. What did I tell you? 8 or 8:30? What did I tell you? 8:30. 8:30. We're going to talk Lobo women's basketball. They got a big one tomorrow. They're in the pit, and it is a battle for first place in the Mountain West. They play UNLV, the team that was nationally ranked when the Lobos went in about 2 weeks ago and stunned the Rebels in Las Vegas. Rebels make their return to the pit. Former player and assistant coach Nike McClure is going to join us coming up at 8:30, and we're going to talk about this team, what's made this team go on the run, what's the character of this team, and how do you beat UNLV again? Because you're not sneaking up on them tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it. And I know you really like Nike a lot.
Nike's an awesome person. It's great to have back the program. She came back as a director of player operations a few years back. This is her second year as assistant coach, and it's great to have that balance on the staff of when you have a former player that can connect with the players like she can. It's awesome, and always a great conversation with Nike.
All right, and then Kenny Thomas will be with us at 9. We'll kick it with Kenny, the former Lobo great, talk about the Lobo game last Wednesday, the men's loss at Boise State, at home against Boise State. And there's a lot of NBA stuff to talk about as well. All right, you want to talk, 505-246-0610. There's 2 lines open. Miguel, get us started. You want to talk about that Aggie game last night. Good morning, Miguel.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, I don't doubt that Jason Hooten's a good coach. I question why he left his last job to come to Las Cruces because of all the problems they had last year. It's going to be interesting to watch and see if he does actually do anything with suspending this player that clearly punched the Liberty player last night. You know, because you look at the track record of New Mexico State, and it hasn't been positive. You just recently in their football program, the kid that Pavia, the quarterback, who's desecrating the Lobo. You remember that story, and
yes.
He didn't get punished. He didn't get suspended. I think the issue really, and I've said this for a while, is the culture of New Mexico State, which is being driven, or actually not being driven, by the AD Maracho or whatever his last name is, Mocho. He's the problem. And you go clear back to the shooting on the UNM campus, and there's been people that have been held responsible, but not because of him. He's the person that hasn't been held responsible. And I really don't believe that the culture, or you will see improvement out of that campus down in Las Cruces until he's actually removed. And I don't know why the Board of Regents down there don't take that very seriously. And the man got a raise at some point last year after going through the significant problems of the basketball program, and it just doesn't add sense to me. You add it up, and he seems to be the person that keeps his job, and there continues to be problems. That's all I wanted to say. I appreciate your time.
No, appreciate your time. All right, so there's a lot there, obviously. Mario's the athletic director, right? It goes to the top, and I thought he's made some hires, made some good hires. I think any of you who've made hires, you make good hires, you make bad hires, right? When you make them, you think they're good, and then you hope 80% of them turned out to be good, right? Jerry Kill was a good hire. It seems like Jody, his women's basketball coach, is a good hire. The Greg Heyer move wasn't. Greg Heyer obviously is a hell of a basketball coach. Last I checked last week, JJ, he at the junior college that he's at, Area Mineral, they were 19-0 and ranked second in the country in junior college rankings, so he can coach basketball. But obviously, he got away from it. I don't know about, was Diego Pavia disciplined? Jerry Kill insists that Diego Pavia was disciplined. Mario hired Jerry Kill. I think by just about every account, people were pretty happy with the Jerry Kill era at New Mexico State, right?
Yeah.
Right. Culture is an interesting word, and what's going on down there. It's a challenging job. Miguel's got points. All of those things that you talk about, yeah. Mario is the athletic director. And is there accountability? Did Mario, I don't know exactly what Mario, nor do you, I don't think, right? What he went through. Did he get a raise? Yeah. No. Did Dan Arvizu gave him a contract extension and a raise in the waning hours of Dan Arvizu's tenure as the chancellor at New Mexico State? I think that's well documented. And Mario is an interesting character when it comes to how he is perceived by Aggie fan, right? And I don't know that Miguel is or is not an Aggie fan. I would guess not. The majority of Aggie fan, I believe, the ones that I talk to, the ones that, like a periphery, Aggie fans not connected to the program, I think really like Mario. Why? Basketball has been very, very good until that incident under his guidance, right? He hired Chris Jans. Chris Jans had a hell of a run. They go to the NCAA tournament. Football has had the best run that they've ever had under Mario's guidance. And conversely, you would say what Miguel just said, right? And I feel like the majority, and I really need your perspective on this because I know you know different people, but who also are Aggie fans. The majority of people are saying, yeah, no, it's a mess and that's embarrassing, but dude, we've been winning. And winning, what do we always say? Winning cures all. And the fact that they did have that run in basketball, and it was a terrific run, right? And then what's gone on the last 2 years in football, they kind of, but Mario's led us through this, and Mario's done a great job because look what he's done on one of the lowest budgets in all of college athletics, at least at the Division I or FBS level. And so he's my guy.
You laid it out really well right there. I think with Mario Mocha, a lot of people just kind of look at what happened, getting that extra bump right at the end when everything was going on, and it feels like it was kind of buddy deal. And
with Arvizu, the chancellor, yeah.
When there was that much going on where you just needed to kind of be like, all right, how are we going to get all this figured out?
Yeah, I'm not looking to get into anybody's money. I'm really not. Full disclosure, I know Mario and Mario's a friend, but and so I know how challenging that job is, and I always, how do you lead, right? What happens when things go sideways? And I think the people like Miguel and Mario and I have had this conversation, and it feels like things work very differently down there as far as communication, right? After the incident here, Mario was with football in Missouri when the shooting happened, and there was nothing that came out of there until the next Wednesday, which was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Remember?
Yeah.
When the whole allegations with basketball, there was nothing, and people, when there's something as serious as, I don't know, there's somebody dead on campus and one of your players in the hospital, you wanted to hear something and you didn't, right? Well, I can't say anything. I've been legal, and I think that's been one of the issues. The people that feel like Miguel do. Where's the leadership? Who's standing out in front? And Mario has said, I can only do so much legally. I've been told to not say anything, that sort of stuff. All I know is, look, I'm not blaming. I got a problem blaming last night on Mario Mocha. With all due respect to Miguel on that call.
Yeah, that one's not
it's
on
hard.
18.
It's hard for me to, when a player in a game slugs a dude in the face, it's hard for me to blame the athletic director. Now, is that culture? You're going to say, that's culture. I don't know, man. You know what that feels like? One dude had a really bad moment. And it's hard for me to say, you know what, you got to fire the AD. Because now I know that's not what Miguel's saying, but unless you got a different view on this, is Robert Carpenter last night hitting Shiloh Robinson in the face? Is that on the AD?
No, but that is what is going to get stirred back up.
No, I
Is
understand.
everything else that happened.
And it just did.
Last night was a standalone incident. But if you're New Mexico State, if you're an Aggie fan, that's why you're just like, oh, really?
I know.
Because it's going to drag everything else up that doesn't have anything to do with that specific incident or that person, but it's going to be brought into the conversation.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. By the way, Aggie fan, you won last night, 79-73 in overtime. We can get into the game if you want, but really the story is what made national headlines. 505-246-0610. You can send emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Find us on the Twitter. It's _ JJ Buck. And you can watch the show on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, or on Comcast Channel 26. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. When we come back, let's get into a little football. Coaches are leaving the NFL, coaches are leaving college football for the NFL, says one very prominent college coach, and why he believes it will be a trend. We're going to get into that next. Guys, how you feeling? Friday going into the weekend, you feeling, I don't know, you feel good? Or you feeling tired, fatigued, regularly fatigued, less energetic than you want to? Maybe it's time to turn the page, and you should call NewMale Medical Center. At NewMale, they specialize in men's health. They offer cutting-edge treatments for low testosterone and fatigue and erectile dysfunction, all kinds of stuff. Their expert team is dedicated to helping you feel better. So imagine feeling better, energetic, confident, at your best again. Whether it's reigniting the passion, restoring your youthful vigor, or even tackling hair loss, NewMale's personalized treatments are designed just for you. So don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. You can join thousands of men who have transformed their lives with NewMale. It's confidential, comprehensive, and it's about you. So, ready to discover the new you or rediscover the old you? Visit newmalemedical.com. Call them at 505-652-1688. Schedule your private consultation today. That's 505-652-1688. NewMale Medical Center, where your new chapter begins. NewMale Medical Center. Feel young, feel energetic, feel new.
Hey.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party.
Again, without football since, like, I don't know, July? Yeah, the end of July. We did have a Hall of Fame game, right? I mean, what do you... There's Pro Bowl games. Did you watch any of that? I watched a little dodgeball. I caught it. All right, DC said I got to watch this. I mean, it was...
Did you watch the golf portion, though?
No, I forgot. And it was over, and then...
Okay, so what position do you think won? And who?
Kicker.
Yes, of course. It was a punter, actually, but yeah, it's
I mean,
Cowboys punter. His last name is Angry, which is kind of funny. But
really?
You think position?
Quarterback.
I would have thought that.
Really? Who was it?
Ferguson.
Really? All right, I was on my fantasy team now. Pretty good.
He earned a spot. He held over.
Well, yeah, that needs. I think he's $1 to my salary cap.
No, they had extra time to play golf. They got knocked out right away.
Oh, so maybe he's back.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess it makes sense that they would have.
See? All right, Cowboys were the winner. So Eli's beating Tate.
Yeah, they're up 12-6 right now.
Oh, yeah. Who's your money?
I let it all ride.
I stayed out of the free for all on this one. I already won regular season. I'm posting.
Mm-hmm.
I was 7-2 in the postseason.
I mean, people make it.
Yeah, 22 and 15 in the regular season. Yeah, no, I should have. I mean, but that was what the whole look was. Should I bet next year and then I'm going to lose my house? All right,
should have jumped on the street right now.
Over, so well, I might as well throw it all at that. All right, college coaches won out of the game. It's becoming harder and harder to coach. And coaches are going to want out. Kelly, of course, is head coach of UCLA. Formerly the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Formerly the head coach at Oregon in college. And Ian Rappaport of NFL Media, the Raiders actually coached Kelly at least twice for that job. And Chip opened to return to the NFL. Packers hired Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley as their defensive coordinator. It's like the Kingsbury's headed back to the NFL. And multiple reports he's going to be the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. And there's a lot of talk about it. Kelly just saying, look, it's getting tougher and tougher, and coaches are getting harder and harder to coach. Now, there's always going to be plenty of guys who want to do it. There's going to be plenty of guys who do it. The money's going to be good and get completely better. But it's an interesting interesting concept because it is getting better. And every coach we've talked to, JJ, and I think it's evolved even since you and I were talking to a bunch of coaches back in July in Vegas again. And the between the portal, the NIL, the outside factors, the urgency to win now, the disparity from the haves and the have-nots, coaching, even at UCLA's level, dude, he's going into the Big Ten. You think of UCLA as having a lot of money. UCLA's got a big debt. Their budget.
It's troubling to see college football head coaches in power conference jobs. They would rather be NFL coaches. But it shows you the uncertainty of it all. And it's so easy for everyone to say, you have all this money. The NCAA made how much money? Figure it out, give it to the players. There's not a process that everyone's on board with. These conferences, their money, they don't want it to be given out to everyone else. And there are zero good ideas right now of what to do. Everyone is absolutely scared of lawsuits. They're getting destroyed in all these court cases, and no one is stepping up saying, hey, what are the guidelines? Because they want to be pros without any repercussions, without anything that goes along with it. It's like people, you look at pro leagues, there's salary caps, there's tax thresholds, there's all these things that go on in contract, and these student athletes want all the benefits without anything that goes along with it. And there's no way to get on the same page where you have unlimited and expect college athletic model to continue the way it is. We can't keep pretending. We've pretended for so long that these are all Division I teams. We know that they're all absolutely playing on different playing fields. At some point in time, these voices that are screaming, like, you have the money, do it, they're going to destroy the system because they're not understanding the entire picture. And no one is willing to say, all right, this, like, there's nothing else that does maybe even
there's a thing. Like you talk about your pro leagues, there are contracts. They for teams for, and here's your salary. You don't leave after this year because you want to. Now you can demand a trade. There are windows where there's free agents. There are these guys whenever you want, basically whenever you want. You're right. It's an insanely uneven playing field. People like to ignore the players, which is great. But I think you're right. I think it's bad for the system, and I think it's unsustainable.
It's going to slap on them, and they're going to lose out on opportunities.
If Chip Kelly leaves and goes to college football as a coordinator, as a not head coach, there are already in this offseason, since college football season, 3 head coaches who voluntarily left their head coaching job in college to go to Boston College's coach. Jeff Hafley left and told you that he took the coordinator job. South Alabama's head coach, Kane Womack. Buffalo's head coach, Maurice Linguist, left their jobs to become co-defensive coordinators at Alabama. So they went to just the head coach. You know what? Let somebody else do with it. I'm going to go be coaching at Alabama. That shows you, right? South Alabama and Buffalo, as you just said, they're all Division I. I promise you, those 2 gentlemen are making substantial, maybe double more, as co-coordinators at Alabama than they were at head coach at Buffalo.
Yes.
And again, there will be people who want to coach college, right? It's a high-paying job, it's a good job. Yes. But look, I just had meetings this week about so many of these issues. It got into relatively intimate. It's concerning when you get a guy who's high profile, who's had a lot of success. I mean, Chip Kelly is a very respected, high profile coach, right? Had a ton of success. It was not horrible. He gets a bad rap. Fired at Philadelphia. But go look at his record. He wasn't that bad. They fire coaches like that. I said, you know what, man? I don't know if I'm going to be a head. I'll go be a coach. Who needs
it was a system that never evolves, and when you don't change, and you have zero pathways of dealing with change, and you react. That's what we see right now. There's so many questions. People are like, who is running this? Who is in charge? We have name, image, and likeness now. We see it, and then these random stories pop up about these NIL violations that they're trying to enforce. Both Florida State and Tennessee. What is going on? Who is in charge of this? What violations are there? Because it's the wild west. That's any coach. Any coach. And they'll tell you there's zero. And it's not just guardrails and anything going on right now. It's not just football, although it's focused on football. And when we come back, the Super Bowl is in Vegas. You go to Vegas, everybody's betting. Well, not everybody. The do's and don'ts, knows and the knows of what you can and what you cannot do in Vegas around the Super Bowl if you are in the NFL. Kind of interesting. I think you're going to dig that. We'll give away some tickets. Let's go see Bert Kreischer, Tops Off World Tour. Dude, shirtless, funny, and it's going to be on a Sunday, this Sunday, February 4th, 7 o'clock out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Caller number, I was going to go 4 because it's called 4, but you look 4. Caller 4 right now, 505-246-0610. You get a pair of tickets for Sunday's show. It goes to Bert Kreischer, Tops Off World Tour. Call now, 505-246-0610. Caller number 4 is the winner, courtesy of your good friend DC. You're at 95.9 FM, 610. Sports Animal.
Traffic along I-40.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We'll do it again at 8:15, then we'll do it again at 9:45. We got some things to do. Because pressure. So if you didn't win, you still have your opportunity. Nike first to be with us. Club of Women's Basketball. That'll be 30. Thomas is here. Busy Friday. Headline this morning, and it's not a like I hated seeing it last night. It was one of those things because I was watching another game. I don't even know. There was a cut in. All right, here's what's going on across the country. You got to see what happened in Las Cruces. I'm like, what's that? And all right, Robert Carpenter, the New Mexico State player, ejected for punching Shiloh Robert. I'm like, wait, what? And I literally stopped it and rewound it, and I'm like, no. So Aggie forward Robert Carpenter ejected last night. He punched Shiloh Robert, Liberty player, in the face in the first half of the game. So Aggies won the game 79-73 in overtime, their fourth-ranked conference today. Richie McKay, of course, the coach, head coach of Liberty. Welcome back to New Mexico. Bang! Yeah. And Jason Newton, the head coach at New Mexico State, so they were two things here at New Mexico State. He's a really good kid. No room for that. All my rule is don't let's have Jason. Well, thank you. I guess it's better that he won't talk to the media. Like that. Yeah, that's a good start. Yeah, it's a good start. He won't play on Saturday. Let me talk to him, see what happened. Let me look at the video. I got to believe it will be more.
Yeah, that's when we talk about Draymond Green in the NBA and all his antics, and he did the spinning back fist to Yusuf Nurkic this last time that he got him. It was like 8 strikes in the NBA. This wasn't one of those swinging wildly. This was dude reared back, right hook, trying to run down the court. Like, no one's going to see this. This game is being televised with cameras at every angle. Right. I'm just going to hit this guy square in the face and run back down and play defense. And then be like, what happened?
Nobody see this? Nobody's noticed. All right, 505 888-9. All right, the Super Bowl's what could go wrong, right? What could go wrong? For a number of players, Jameson Williamson, right? Williams, Lions.
Yep.
6 games suspension beginning of the year for illegal betting. But breaking the rules. I'm Palstero being a video.
Isham Booty situation. Yeah. That one is wild. He's been doing it since he was in college.
Okay. So there was a memo sent out. Tom Pelissero of the NFL media. The NFL sent out a memo on Thursday regarding the do's and do nots of the NFL, Super Bowl, all this. So non-player, or here's the deal. No player, this is for every player, every non-player employed by a team, every league employee. Okay, so this is if you are employed, if you draw a paycheck from a team in the National Football League or the National, you may not even enter a sports book during the season. You can't even go there and have a beer.
And enjoy the special.
You can't sit down and just watch all the games. Like, if you've ever been in a sports book in Vegas, right? It's kind of a beautiful thing. You sit down there and there's like horse racing from, Alabama, and there's motor racing from Brazil, and there's, every it's unbelievable, right? It's a beautiful thing. If you got a few shekels online, they can't do that. They are not allowed to enter a sports book during the season. Quote, you may not enter a sports book for any reason at any time, including eat or drink while in Las Vegas for a Super Bowl. You may walk through a sports book to access a permissible adjacent area. And just for non-player personnel, from teams not involved in the game, they are permitted to play casino games and slot machines, while on personal time, If you work directly for the NFL, quote your SOL. No gambling allowed at any time. So if you work for the NFL, you can pull back. Is that how you read this?
Yes.
All right. Vegas will do it fun.
Yeah, I think they're going to make their money. A lot of other people to lose their money too.
Is this just in Vegas? So if let's say, I don't know, a special teams group playoffs is in Albuquerque and playing in Isleta. They gamble? Can they go to Black? They can't go to Black. They cannot go into the sports book.
I would. That's how I read it. At any time.
But
I don't want you near that.
Because there's cameras everywhere and everybody knows who you are.
And now that will just open Pandora's box. If you just had some random dude sitting there having a drink, maybe eating some wings with some buddies, someone take a picture and like, dude, you know who this is? This is the secondary coach for the Carolina Panthers. He's sitting in the sports book. What do you think's going on? You're like, well,
what do you think he knows?
You know it's already scripted. So,
well, I mean, so you know, back in 5 years ago, he had the defensive tackle on his team. He drafted him, and we were tight. He was the fourth-round pick, and he made him, and he was something crazy, right?
That's what the internet.
That's where we are right now. Yeah, it's flat out where we are right now.
There's the unbelievable amount of people that thought they knew what the Super Bowl was going to be because of the shade of the Super Bowl logo,
yeah,
the coloring of it.
Died, right? That died when the Ravens lost. Right? Wasn't it Ravens colors?
Stuff people run with. It scares me.
Right. Look.
We're driving on the road.
You're still you rescue people every single. All right. 505-246-06. So that's what you can and you cannot do if you are deployed. Meanwhile, LS, I don't care. Or not. This was basically not one, not two, not three. He didn't say it this way. He said it in his khaki-wearing way. Will be perceived differently. How much will this come back and be replayed for the new coach in Chargers? How about that? We're going to do that when we come back. The IPS now offers standing guards, 24-hour patrols for homes and business owners in Santa Fe, not just Albuquerque. So if you own a home in Santa Fe and you're not there for days or weeks at a time, IPS can keep an eye on your property while you're not there. They install alarms, they install cameras, they monitor the cameras. That adds another layer of security to your home. IPS has major presence in big box stores and retail outlets here in Albuquerque. They can do the same for your business in Santa Fe, and it's been working for stores in Albuquerque. That's why they have been employing IPS. Of course, I've worked with IPS for years. We're looking for security, another layer for your home. If you're traveling, they are there for you. International Protective Service, armed, trained security officers. They come by my house every single day to make sure things are okay. If the alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes. Trained, armed security officers. Protect if you have worked so hard. Your home's supposed to be a place of security. If someone breaks in, it's devastating access. Homes that are protected are far less likely to be the ones targeted by that. Call IPS. Have them protect what you have worked so hard to build your home, your business. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe a safer place to live.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Richard says transfer portal equal most how much of this is not necessarily getting into a better situation, but getting your ego, having other coaches tell you how much, having other cheerleading chapters post on your social media. I think it's more about how much paper,
how much they think they're getting paid.
Yeah, let me give you a stat. And this stat I was given by a conference commissioner a year ago, April, and it was discussed in this week, and I believe it's still to be true. in college football, of all the players who went into the transfer portal, certainly a year ago, 30% of players transferred to a lower spot. So group of five, Power Five, group of five FCS, right? So they went, let's just say, Fresno State to New Mexico. I'm sorry. Oregon to New Mexico to Northern Arizona, right? Something like that. And JJ, this is the one that's even more. 30% 30% transferred, went into the portal, had a scholarship or playing football. Thought they'd find a better spot, and 30% just did not find a spot.
The problem is no one thinks they're going to get better.
And that's 100% right.
And it's not about being able to post on social media, hey, I got an offer from this team and that team. It's thinking that you're going to get a better NIL. And you're out there. I know a women's basketball story, a player that was not playing at her previous school, was highly recruited, was given $50,000 by a power conference and NIL. And then you're like, can't do that at all. And for those players that are out there, and that's what all these players do.
I mean, how many women? All over the land. So that's all right. Jim Harbaugh had his introductory press conference yesterday. Charge. You say that again. If it somehow bothers you that in Los Angeles,
LA Chargers.
Excuse me. I don't. He said it needs to be multiple championships.
Not one, not two,
that's the same thing.
Not three.
Right? How much is this going to come back if they don't win? Not one, not two, not three. I'm scared. I mean, this is the same thing, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Same thing, different dude, is it not? He said, and after that, he said, we're going to be humble.
Be humble.
We're going to be humble and hungry. That's our goal. Our goal is to keep people in a first-class manner.
Anyone full?
Everybody's. I don't know that everybody's full.
Sit down. Be humble.
I don't know that everybody's full. Everybody's goal is to win the championship. Tell me the difference. And look, LeBron is still taking 15 years later, not two, not three.
He's talking about the finals.
Oh, is that what it was? Now, maybe it's because at that point, that dude didn't win anything, and this guy's coming up with is for a little more credibility if you've won a championship. You've been to a Super Bowl in the NFL. You just won a national championship, as opposed to that young dude who just went down there. Not two, not three, not. I don't know. Is that the difference, or is there?
I think he should be weird. There's a little more wiggle room by saying multiple instead of just counting.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that?
Mm-hmm.
So two.
Well, more than one would satisfy the definition, would it not?
Well, yes, the definition. I'm just the way he said it.
I know.
Is kind of.
He thinks he's going to be the next MVP. Well, he's next New England Patriots.
There's only one man on this planet that loves Justin Herbert more than I do, and that's Jim Harbaugh.
Whoa. I'm going to get where I watch every one of his NFL throws, every one of his snaps. The thing that's jumping out is enormous talent. I'm waking up. I'm waking up. Like, real early in the morning. Like, I got a break. My A game. Everything's forward. I'm excited about the challenge. Let's see if I'm manning a good enough coach that all this hard work can be realized. I want to work really hard so this work can be I don't know. He thinks he's going to really get back. He's the guy who's bring out
exactly what all that means. Let's remember, baby. Go. Got a real life NFL coach expectations in Titletown.
Is this? Do you guys believe? Hey, do you believe he's going to win multiple championships? And how long before? Like next year, are they just a different? Are they a different beast? Are you now all of a sudden? They're not the Chargers. They are the Harbaugh. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. You guys, I know you're all in, right?
Oh, hook, line, sinker.
Pardon me for my not being. Where are you?
You like what he's saying. He brings good energy. I'll say though, I don't think anyone is really trying to win. Saying that is a huge statement. How hard it is to get there. So I'm not bought in that much, but I would take this.
Well, sure. I mean, that was it was a dude who was so cocky and so in over his head, and I think it's true. Brandon Staley's good friend. He's up for some of these later, isn't he? Later?
Rams.
Woo!
Go.
Yeah. I just a dude that really felt like he was the smartest guy in the world. I knew everything. I'm not going to listen to
yellow
anybody
logo on your pullover right there.
LA
Dodgers.
And say what?
Yankees.
You want to do Red Zone when we come back? The floors at 8:30 when we talk about big women. And you know, I don't know if you all understand. That might have been one of the biggest college basketball period this year. The Lobos beat you. Talk to Nike at 8:30. Kenny Thomas is going to be Kenny, the former Lobo great, coming up at 9 o'clock. Still have more tickets the way to go see Bert Kreischer. We'll do that at 8:15 next Sunday. At 9:05. Happy Friday. Glad you're with us. Looking at a beautiful weekend. Because they're all beautiful. But it's the month of love. Sometimes and AM 610, the
well, every other station calls it the big.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You can watch the Senior Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, that's part of the football season.
Your draft juices flowing.
Oh yeah, but Gerald,
there's
the general manager.
Thinking about Bill Belichick.
That's right. That's right.
It's great.
There's no doubt that better.
Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. been out there this week. Big opportunity for those quarterbacks. Like kind of the second-tier first-rounders.
Yeah. But, you want to go red zone? Go NFL red zone. Boy, you got some hard-hitting stuff.
How much you want to make a bet? I can all over the mountains.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to Tom Brady.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond. It's first and goal.
Hard hitting indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake had a little wardrobe malfunction. Ooh. So while that is memorable shows, and I'll tell you, I love Justin Timberlake, but I'm not totally convinced it was the best. Tell me, what was your favorite Super Bowl halftime performance?
What do you got?
It's interesting looking back at when things started to change with the early 90s, when they really started to invest in the Super Bowl halftime show and just got away from the University of Arizona marching band, things along those lines. Super Bowls that I remember watching. Remember, like
marching band. Well, he brought the one.
Yeah, no, I got Michael Jackson. That was going way back. That was Prince. I loved Beyonce, Bruno Mars. I thought that was. It's funny. I did look back and when did they start? And so it was San Diego State and Cal State North in 1988. San Diego State and who's around? Cal State Northridge marching band. Did something. Elvis.
That is when you have Elvis Presley at home,
right? So it looks like in '91, New Kids on the Block with Disney characters. That's not when they started.
And what is Warren Moon doing?
I don't know. 1992, Gloria Estefan was half that. The figure skaters Brian Boitano and Dorothy Hamlin, members of the U.S. Hockey. I don't know. It was probably right. 90.
Luke
They're probably pumping the Olympics. It was probably on NBC. I'm going to guess. And a 92 was if that sounds about right. And then Michael Jackson. And then the next year it was Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds. And the next year was Patti LaBelle and Indiana. Right, so that's when they got in. And then Diana Ross. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, and Jim Belushi. Goodman was right. Yeah, the Blues Brothers. Then it was Boyce and Smokey Robinson and the Latifah. Boy, Estefan, Stevie Wonder, Big Bad, Voodoo Daddy, and Evan Glover.
Yeah, I honestly thought JJ was doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was giving us tools.
But you look at some of the names. Like, do you remember Aerosmith doing it? I don't. U2 in 2002.
I do remember you.
I do. I remember that too. Shania Twain. Then the Jackson, Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake. Long show. Then right after that, they went Paul McCartney 1 year, 05. The Rolling Stones in 06.
Stones, that was
Prince in 07. Tom Petty in 08. Bruce Springsteen in 09.
Springsteen, not that one. That was a big one.
Yeah. They had some super athletes.
Second and goal.
All the head coaching positions have been filled in the middle. There were a few surprises in this process. We now have an idea of what direction the league is going. So, which of the head coaching hires are most and least confident, and why?
So, I'm going to start with Harbaugh. My favorite one, my most confident, I think, is Raheem Morris in Atlanta. I love that head coaching hire. I think he's ready this time. I think he's coming from a winning culture. I really, 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 really love it. Least confident? I don't know much. I like Mike McDonald up in Seattle a lot too. Went to Carolina. It was the guy from Tampa Bay.
Dave Canales.
That might be the one because you got an offensive guy who's really good with quarterbacks. I just believe that he's got the quarterback to be really good with.
You mean Geno Smith in the comeback player there?
I know.
Big man for over 4,000 yards. I'd actually have high confidence in Canales getting a chance to work and mold Bryce Young into a good NFL quarterback. Like Bryce Young is never going to live up to elite franchise. I don't think he has that in him. But to be a winning quarterback in the NFL, I think Dave Canales is a really good hire. This is a fascinating cycle because 5 of the 7 guys hired are defensive teams. And that's not where the league is going. That's not what we've seen happen. And the biggest question mark I have is who's going to be the offensive coordinator for Dan Quinn. Because that is running it back with Ron Rivera. You're bringing in a defensive guy for a team that has the number 2 overall pick, who's developing, who you're asking to be your next franchise.
I almost went to Dan Quinn just because it just felt like so much of the luster came off of it. But it's not really fair for me totally to pass that much judgment after one game, right? He was good. He was so good. Is it fair to say, you know what? Maybe he isn't as good as I thought he was. It just doesn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
That's why who is going to be his offensive coordinator? Who's going to develop what I assume, as they have the Washington Commanders, the number 2 overall pick, and they'll be debating between Drake May, Jaden Daniels, LSU, the Heisman Trophy quarterback, at that selection. Who's developing that guy? Because Dan Quinn, this is one where you can lay it out and look at his defense. Look at this. That was what you had with Ron Rivera. What is he going to do differently when it comes down to the offense?
Third and goal.
All right, we're talking about coaching. Bill Belichick, Carroll, on the outside looking in. Carroll has a goal with the Seahawks. All signs point to him looking to return to the top. Belichick had interviews with Belichick. So, Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick? head coaching job first?
I think they get it at the same time, and I think it's next year around now. I think they both do. But if you're going to ask me which one I'm going to say, relative, I think I think it's the infatuation Jerry has. First of all, I'm not totally convinced what I said to you yesterday. I'm not totally convinced that Bill Belichick won't be the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Like, that would be so right up to Jerry. But I laid out a scenario for you, maybe it was last week, whatever it was, that never happens in the NFL. It happens in the NBA all the time. Adrian Griffin gets fired by the Bucs, completely outside the organization. By the way, that game at Portland. We'll get into that. Every time a coach gets fired in the NFL, they inside the right, they stay in the room, they promote the interim. I got a weird feeling. And if they don't start off well, I can see Jerry firing McCarthy, bringing him back.
That one, and that's where you look at Jerry Jones and he's loyal. You look at what the running back gave Jason Garrett, what he's done with quarterbacks. Like, if you wanted to make that move, he should have done it and not wait and see what the move about that. Like, that's one that he should have just said, all right, let's make this run. If you feel the one place you're lacking is postseason success, Bill Belichick was like, well, yeah, he had Tom Brady, but the dude knows what to do to get to the postseason to be successful. And me, the Pete Carroll one, if Pete Carroll wanted to coach somewhere else, I don't know. We haven't heard stories about it. We don't know if he tried. Why was he not more vocal about Seattle?
It's a really weird one, isn't it?
He just they moved him in the organization, and he still wanted to be the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So that's why I'm not thinking we're going to see Carroll anytime soon, because he didn't seem to be too vocal, or people in his camp didn't seem to be pounding the ground of saying, "Hey, let Pete Carroll go get another job."
4th and goal. Yes, breaking news. Mahomes has had a very tough start to the year. Recently retired Tom Brady also had a fairly drink. I've been hearing a wide range of expectations moving forward. I'm going to ask you guys. Tom Brady, 23 seasons, 10 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes, 6 seasons as a starter, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 2 rings so far. Sunday, over under 4.5 wins.
More? I got to go on. I mean, how old is he? 26?
I thought it was 27. Okay, in that range.
Just it's a good number, and I like where you placed it. At some point, the leagues can catch up. I mean, I kept saying that about Brady, and they won it. And look, he had tremendous support. I'm not taking anything away from him. He wasn't not telling me he wasn't. You have to have tremendous fortune. At some point, Andy Reid's not going to. Now, Mahomes went without Reid. Absolutely, yes. I just percentage is something that
4.5 more is it's the under. Now, if it was total Super Bowls in his career, I think we're shooting with 4 or 5 right there. But 4.5 more from now, I'm going to take the under with it. I will say, a couple years ago, after they won that first one, and you start having the conversation of who can be that guy that flirts with these numbers, it is Patrick, for sure. But 4.5 more, I would take that.
And I'd take it too. But this all started, I heard someone putting out an argument that they thought he was going for 9. I'm like, that's crazy.
Look, he could.
Good.
And I think there's a couple factors. He rolled when he lost Tyreek Hill. Chelsea, if I said 2.5 over under more years, Chelsea performing at the level of how much winning, because that's a huge key to this. 2.5 more years, Andy Reid. How long are you giving it, right? And so they're not all going out together. They're not. Brady won without Belichick and went somewhere else. Mahomes can absolutely win no matter what system you put him in. I got no doubt. And you want to put him with Sam Laporta in Detroit, you want to put him with Mark Andrews, wherever. right? There's going to be dudes that come up. They got something crazy, right? And they know it. They're riding it like who's got it better than them? Nobody, right? And so at some point it's going to change, right? And at least, you think I'm wrong?
No. Mahomes is 20 years old. We just assume all these dudes are going to play until they're 40.
All right, let's do this. Nike McClure's to be with us. She is the former Lobo player. She is the Lobo assistant. Lobos have a huge game for the pit tomorrow against UNLV. UNLV team who's nationally ranked 29 in a row. When the Lobos come in there and beat them in Vegas 2 weeks ago. Rematch tomorrow. I want to do that, and I think you're really going to enjoy Nike a lot. With Kenny Thomas to be here, we'll do that coming up at 9 o'clock. We talk about the NBA. I want his thoughts. Tyrese Halliburton's thoughts. Why do I got to go to work week? Or my work week. Let's give away some tickets. We get 2 tickets right now. Bert Kreischer is going to be out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. It is on Sunday. It is the Tops Off World Tour. It's funny, and you can go. Right now, a pair of tickets at 505-246-0610. If you are caller number 3, 505-246-0610. You got date night, courtesy of your good friend DC. 95.1 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal, your home for the Super Bowl.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Advisor, you might be in a long line. P.S. Why can't we go back to bowl half times with up with the people? I don't know. I don't know. All right. There should be a good crowd tomorrow. Right? They should get a nice crowd. 2:00. Hey, will you guys help me with something?
Yes.
We have not, and I don't know that this has been a conscious effort. We really haven't done a lot of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce talk. And I'm going to tell you, because it's, to me, two people's relationship is their thing. My perception is the networks, for the most part, have done a pretty good job of not overblowing. They've acknowledged that she's there. They show her. I don't think they show her a ton. But the amount of social media hate is overwhelming to me, and I'm not sure I understand it.
People like to hate.
Okay.
Because haters going to hate.
Is that right? Yeah, no, I heard that. Okay. Why are people so angry about this?
It's always some conspiracy or people like, how dare these people try to shove this down my throat? I'm here to watch NFL football. I'll see a shot of somebody in the stands.
Have you watched less NFL football because they've shown a few shots of her? You get that cutaway instead of some random Chiefs wearing beer swilling dude with no shirt. Right? I for the life of me, I just don't get it. And I'm not going to jump on my soapbox and it's empowering for women. Like do your thing. But it's not the first time we've ever seen a player's significant other in the stands, is it? You know, I would argue this, and I don't know this for certain. I'm going to guess Brock Purdy's family got just about as much FaceTime as Taylor Swift during the play the other day, didn't? Right? Every time Brock Purdy made a play, we saw his mom and dad, which is cool. I have no problem with it. Somebody's got to help me understand that the vitriol is it. I don't know. And then I saw Trump came out the other day and he says, well, I'm more popular than her anyway, and so I don't care. Right? Everybody's got to take their shots. It comes back to what you tell me all the time, and you are so right. People hate success. People hate successful people. If you are successful, you are going to have shots taken at you.
It's no surprise that you're going to show famous people at events. That's not groundbreaking. It's nothing.
Ever watch a Laker game? No, seriously. You ever watch any Laker game in LA?
Like, it's just a part of celebrity. It's part of entertainment. It's even a part of sports. They're gonna be like, hey, look who's at the game.
That's right.
And when the biggest musical artist in the world right now happens to be in a relationship with one of the best tight ends to ever play football, they might cut to the box after he scores a touchdown. Not that crazy.
But they keep finding suites for them, by the way. Suites are hard to find, usually. They're usually sold out. You think they're able to afford it? Is that what you're telling me?
I think her and Lamar have some
Goodness, it's not Lamar anymore. I'm making myself sound old, but yeah, her and the Hunts, they've got something cooking.
I'm sure they're able to find one. All right. I mean, I look, good for them, man. And every dude who's complaining about it is one jealous dude. I don't understand it. Just like it amuses me. Good for them. It's another piece that it's a whole lot more people that are watching your game. A whole lot more people who are watching your game. All right, when we come back, I think there's going to be a whole lot more people watching the Lady Lobos tomorrow than maybe have been throughout the season. A big opportunity tomorrow in University Arena. They call it the Pit. Lobos and UNLV. We're going to talk to former Lobo and their current assistant coach, Nike McClure, about this game, where they are. How do you beat them? Again, that is next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, your home for the Super Bowl.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Big day at the pit tomorrow. Big game at the pit. First place is on the line in the Mountain West. Lobo women's basketball, winners of 5 in a row, take on the powerhouse that is UNLV. Glad you're with us this morning. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit, but it was it doesn't feel like that long ago. It was the 20th of January, so I guess 2 weeks ago. Lobos were in Las Vegas, and JJ, I mean, you were there. I called it maybe the biggest upset or one of the biggest upsets in all of college basketball, men or women's college basketball this year. UNLV had won $1 million in a row.
At that point, 29 straight versus
on their way to
Mount
$1 million, almost $1 million. Yeah, 29 straight against Mount West. And I guess there was a line on it. What were they, 22.5 point dogs or something? And Lobos went in there and beat them 69-66. I asked you what's cooler than a cucumber, and it was a V-cumber because she hit that big shot. I'm going to use it over and over again. You don't have to like it. I kind of like it. Nike McClure is a former Lobo player, graduated from Washington State, came down here and finished her career at UNM, and is now a key part of that coaching staff with Mike Bradbury, the assistant coach at UNM. And she joins us this morning. Nike McClure, good morning. Nike, how you living?
Good morning, gentlemen. Go Bows. I'm living good.
Appreciate you spending some time with us. You, you got this team playing well, and you've been around Lobo basketball for a while. You've been around college basketball for a while. The win over UNLV up there, I don't know. I'm not going to ask you to rank it, but put it into perspective, because for people who don't understand, am I exaggerating when I say it was one of the biggest upsets in all men's or women's college basketball this year?
Oh man, I think it's up there for sure. I was very impressed with our team getting that one.
Yeah, how did that happen? Because that was a team that has been spectacular. They weren't just beating people; they were beating people up. And for you guys to go in there, what was the game plan? And I mean, obviously, you go into every game believing you're going to win, but how did that happen that day?
I mean, I can't fault these girls. I mean, the culture for our team is such a winning culture right now, and these girls are more together than they've ever been. It was really all them. I mean, we gave them the plan, and we trusted them to run it. And not only did they succeed at that plan, but they excelled. And so, I mean, we're delighted to have these girls in this headspace that they're in right now for playing basketball.
Yeah, and that headspace is winners of 5 in a row, most recently in San Jose on Tuesday afternoon, 65-54, a win up there. So you've been winning on the road, you've been winning at home, and now you have an opportunity at home to take on UNLV. So do you approach this game against UNLV any differently than last time? You're not sneaking up on anybody this time. I mean, you'll have their full undivided attention in the pit tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, yeah, we have their full undivided attention. I mean, we just won them at home, beat that little 29 win streak they had. But honestly, it's all going to come down to our girls' mindsets again. I mean, we're all ready as a staff. Our players are ready. It's all going to come down to who executes better. I mean, the better team will win that day. And, we're just going to hope to see them again in the tournament.
What's up, Nike? Good morning to you. Appreciate the time. How much have you learned as you've transitioned to assistant coach the last 2 years? Because ball, you were a hooper, but in this role as an assistant coach, the different responsibilities, how much growth have you gone through over the last 2 years?
I've gone over a ton of growth. I mean, I'm working with some legends around here who have been mentoring me really well. Just observing the way they speak and how they work and how they learn and trying to apply that to myself. I've learned a ton over the last 2 years coaching, and if I keep on this track, I'm excited for what the future holds. So I'm really excited. I've learned a ton.
I know it comes with a lot more responsibility when you get that assistant coach title, but is one of the biggest perks better seat on the bus and plane when you?
Yeah.
Hey, I always get the best seat. I'm the tallest. I'm tall, so either Charlie steals it or I get it. But we never have problems with seating.
She's Nike McClure, former Lobo player, now the assistant coach on a 7-2 Mountain West Conference record basketball team. It's going to play for first place tomorrow in the pit against UNLV. When you get into coaching, I got to believe it's about, well, it's about a lot of things, but watching players develop has got to be something. And when you're with them every day and you get these relationships, I want you to talk a little bit of just about the evolution and the advancement as players, Anaya Ogman and Vianney Cumber, and just watching them get better over the last couple of years.
I think those are two great examples. I mean, Anaya Ogman and Vianney have been hard workers since the day they stepped on campus for us. Obviously, their freshman year, they didn't get much playing time, but over the last 2 years, they've been amping it up. And just seeing how they've grown as players and people has been incredible. Obviously, my role has changed over the time that they've been here, but they've called me to step up for them, and they've challenged me as a coach to be better and work really hard to make them the best they can be. So having two players like that on our team has been vital to not only our success, but my personal success as a coach.
Yeah. The atmosphere around women's basketball here is, I don't know if people understand it, appreciate it, and probably, I think to some extent, take it for granted. You played in the gym. I don't know, I asked JJ the other day, over under 125 people on a Tuesday afternoon in San Jose, or Wednesday, whenever it was. I guess it was Wednesday. But you go around, not just the league, around the country. Can you explain to people how special women's basketball is here and what this program is, not just to play in the pit, but to have the amount of support, the crowds? I'm going to guess there's not a lot of radio stuff. I don't know how many, JJ, when you travel, how many other teams have a full-time radio broadcast. This is a pretty special spot for women's basketball, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, New Mexico, they love their basketball. When it comes to the pit, that's the beating heart right there. People will fill this place up just to see their women's basketball team, their men's basketball team. Basketball is a big deal out here, and it's incredible to be around because not a lot of women's programs get this amount of pull from fans, and it's just incredible that night after night that we come in here and we just get an incredible amount of support from our fans and supporters. So I landed it. I'm really lucky. I'm in a great spot, and these girls are very thankful to have the fan base that we do have.
Nike McClure with us here on the opening drive, Lobo assistant coach. And like you mentioned, Anaya and V and kind of their development. But when you have players that set the tone, and when new players come in, they see, hey, if you trust the process, you can grow and get your opportunity. We're seeing that with Ulda Joachim, her emergence this year after practicing so hard last year, now getting time on the court, and even a true freshman, Laura Langerman, who was nails at San Jose State. How big is it when you have the players that can set the tone for the other players about development and working hard?
It's incredible. I mean, those are leaders by example, like DNA and Anaya coming in the gym, working, Paris freshmen coming in all the time, working. I mean, it sets the tone and the standard, and that's one of the reasons why our culture is so rich right now, because we have players that come in, work hard, they're good kids. And Ulda, like you mentioned, great kid, Lara, fantastic. I mean, we have some fantastic people in this program, and the standard, that bar is set high for what they expect of each other and from themselves.
And it's a huge opportunity for this team tomorrow. What's impressed you the most about the growth of this squad? And you mentioned the character that this group has. They went through some bumps in the road in non-conference play, but to get to a point where they're bringing it day in and day out, the stuff that people don't see at practice that they're able to carry over. What has really impressed you most about the growth of this team?
What's impressed me the most is we used to have issues with distractions, right? But now, like, let's say we're in a huddle, Mike's speaking, all eyes are on him, locked in, eye contact, no distractions, very much focused on the game plan and what we want to achieve, whatever night we have to play. So I think just the eagle-eye focus that this team has and focus on our goals and what we want to achieve is something that's really special because they want to win. They really want to win, and it's exciting.
Now, they've been winning, and winning is fun. 5 in a row and a great chance tomorrow. 2 o'clock. That's tip time out at the pit. JJ will crack the microphone. 1:30 with the pregame show live from Albertsons Radio Row at the pit. Nike, appreciate the conversation. Really enjoyed it. Continued success to you, and thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate it. Go Lobos.
Be well. Nike McClure, she was a terrific player here and is turning into a outstanding coach. And what they're doing there is pretty special right now. You're along for the ride, and I know winning's fun, dude.
Winning is fun. It's an enjoyable group, and you get to see a little bit of the culture that has been built. Nike McClure coming back, starting as kind of a director of player personnel, and then earning an opportunity to get to assistant coach. Jason Nunn just returned as a graduate assistant, and that shows the program, the connection that it has with its players.
All right. You can get in on that, 505-246-0610. Kenny Thomas is going to be here coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny, talk about the men's team. When we get back, some NFL headlines for you coming up this morning. And I've asked you the question. Harbaugh laid it out. What's different what he said than what LeBron said? And oh my goodness, look at all the Taylor Swift tied prop bets in the National Football League. We'll get those for you as well, because I know you're interested as you are a week and 2 days away from Super Bowl Sunday. Hey, you're driving the vehicle now. How is it? I know it's a little wet outside, so it's getting some sludge, some mud, some gunk on it. That's what winter's done for you. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and take care of that for yourself. Remember when your car was brand new? Remember when you took it off the lot and it smelled good and it felt good and it was fun to get into? You can have that again without having to buy a new car. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will come to you and detail your vehicle. That's what all the auto dealers do, is they get their vehicles detailed. That's inside, outside, around all the stuff that you don't do. They're the best. That's why they won Best of the City in 2023. They're reliable. They're efficient. They're the best at what they do, but they do it at your convenience. So they come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient, at your office, at your home, whenever it works for you. They're outside working while you're inside working, and you go outside and your vehicle looks and smells and feels brand new. It is a great Valentine's gift. And Valentine's Day, boys and girls, I don't know if you know this, it's coming up pretty quick. Today's the 2nd. This is the month of love. It is Smooth Love Month. Go call On Spot Automotive Detailing. Take care of it. It's a great gift. OTSdetailing.com. You can book and buy there. OTSdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Our ideas.
Yep. Join the Cruiser Club. Get a free milkshake, a free meal on your birthday, free appetizer on your anniversary. 66 diners having some takeout specials for that. They got a big football game a week from Sunday, and you can get in on that on February 11th. So check out what they've got going on. It's a family-owned business. It's been serving Albuquerque for over 35 years. Classic 50-style diner, comfort food, and it's terrific. It's our sweet deal. And it's live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com at 9 o'clock this morning. Click on the sweet deal icon, $50 worth of 66 diner, or just $25. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. You and I were just having a weird conversation, and I don't know, it just hit me. I with Valentine's Day coming up, you appreciate what you got. I tell you, hug them if you got them. And the date always hits me. Today's 23 years since my dad's passed, and I miss him every single day. And I remember watching the Super Bowl a few days before he passed with him, and the Super Bowl always kind of hits me. He was in the hospital, and it was the Ravens and Giants Super Bowl. You just remember stuff, and just hug them if you got them, man. Enjoy it with your kids. You guys both got young boys, and it just sometimes you think back, and man, I'm like, there's just no way. It's been 23 years, but February 2 hits me hard every year. 23 years, Dad, miss you every day, and it's just hug them if you got them, man, because and make those memories and love on them. It's just, and literally just it just kind of hit me during the break when we were talking about it.
Yeah, make some good memories this weekend.
Every weekend, go out and make good memories. All right,
turn on social media.
That's a good idea.
Enjoy your life.
Good idea. All right, Gopher said, I'm not watching the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift, Jeff. I'm going to find a good Chips marathon or something else instead. All right, good for you. Hey, I'm not sure I believe you.
I don't believe half the things you get.
I don't
in your email, really.
I'm not sure I believe you, but okay. But with that said, there's a bunch of Taylor Swift induced prop bets. Are you so? Do you bet Super Bowl any more than you bet any other game? Do you bet like what do you do?
The public does, I bet.
All right.
Like this is the one where whether it's whatever squares you get into, those things. It's the NCAA tournament brackets and Super Bowl bets. Like it's everyone going.
All right. So there's a lot of regulations around betting, and I think this is a good thing that there's regulations around betting to keep it honest. So U.S. sports books are offering props specifically related to Taylor Swift. Most state regulators, including Nevada, prohibit prop bets that are subjective. So American sports books are getting creative with the way they present their prop bets. So ESPN Bet's offering some Swift-themed props, including Swift action. So like touchdown scored the first 2 minutes, plus 1,200. Taylor's husband, I don't even know what that means. Like Kyle Juszczyk to score a touchdown. And MVP Swelsey. Will Kelsey win the Super Bowl? MVP at plus 1,500. There's a tight end versus pop star prop that asks whether Kelsey will have more receptions in the game than Swift's 10 platinum albums. So 11 or more receptions. You can go there. Kelsey is the most popular prop bet on the board. You can bet where his first TD will be. Will he have a TD over 215 yards? Are you out of your mind? Oh, that's plus 25,000. All kinds of bets on him. Next week we'll get these. We always get some really cool prop bets sent to us next week. Another popular Swift prop across Ontario sportsbooks is the odds of her being mentioned during the Super Bowl MVP's speech. See, those are the kind of things where if I think I'm going to be Super Bowl MVP, I can bet that and then I mention it and I win. Yeah, that's why they regulate these things. You know what I mean?
Yes. I know there was a story going around on social media too about people like blasting DMs out there to anyone on the Super Bowl rosters asking, hey, what's the Gatorade color going to be? There's that one. Over under a national anthem time.
Do teams change their Gatorade color? Like if you're a red Gatorade team, or do they have different tubs? This one's red, this one's yellow, this one's orange. Like I'm gonna guess if you're a red Gatorade team, you're a red Gatorade team, right?
I would lean towards different tubs.
You think you have different types? Because blue's, what's your favorite Gatorade? I like blue.
I love the fact that like there's some of those things like there's not a flavor. It's just I like blue. I'm a red Gatorade person.
There's no way you and I are the same. We like the same thing when it comes to this stuff. Like what's your favorite? If you get a Gatorade, you go to the store, you get a Gatorade, Powerade, whatever. What do you grab out of the 7-Eleven or the Circle K?
See, I like yellow and I like orange.
Okay.
I don't know what the official flavors are, so
it's 100% right though. What do you?
We're all just still like 4-year-olds when it comes to Gatorade, like blue.
What do you grab?
Blue.
100%. That's how you order it though. Like if you go, hey, you want me to get your Gatorade? Yeah. What do you want? Blue. You say yellow. You don't say.
Someone says
lime.
lemon lime. You look at it and be like, "What
the hell is that?" No, that's 100% right.
I would like the Winter Rush flavor, please.
Like what? No, honestly, it's blue, it's yellow, it's orange, or is there another one? Red.
Yeah.
So you go orange or yellow? I go blue. What do you?
You do blue.
Come on, Paul Weir, make a decision.
You know, I
like the
equal opportunity Gatorade drinker.
I like the pink Starburst. All right, Kenny Thomas is in next. We'll kick it with Kenny, see what flavor Gatorade he likes. Come on, man. I like water. It's the opening drive. A 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel. You're home for the Blue Gatorade Super Bowl.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com.
Ford.
on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
No football. Well, I mean, Senior Bowl football and Pro Bowl games this weekend. It's all hoops, football, and dude, there's good golf this weekend, too. Pebble Beach. Kenny Thomas is a golfer.
Oh, Jeff Symbieta is a golfer.
You watch a little Pebble Beach? Did you watch it?
Oh, not yet, but I will.
It's
starting to.
my favorite. JJ knows why it's my favorite tournament to watch. Because that's the. I think it's the. Well, I played one other course that they play on, but I played Pebble Beach, and so I remember in my mind where I hit it on each of those holes. Right, I only played it one time.
Ooh, I haven't.
Look, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Of all the things I've done, that's the one of the things that exceeded expectations. You know, things don't live up to it. Pebble Beach was on.
Oh, I bet it was.
I shot a 41 on the front.
Yeah, right.
And then shot an 89 overall.
Whatever.
I blew up on the back.
I believe you. My knees would have been shaking just in general, just being out there on Pebble Beach.
It's crazy. You stand on 18 with the water on the left. It's insane. Kenny Thomas is here. We're kicking it with Kenny. It is the former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran, and entrepreneur excellence here in the Burke. What's good? You good?
What haven't you done as far as anything sports-wise, man?
No, there's still a lot on my list, man. There's still a lot on the list. But, I mean, I've never been to the Masters. I've never been there.
I've met Tiger in person.
How was that? Was he good?
It was at the Wells Fargo Championship in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Was he cool?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those quick.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, what's
up?
All right.
Sign this.
All right.
It's Tiger Woods, man.
No, I get it.
He's like Michael Jordan. It's like one of those things. Is like when I was playing against Mike when he was an owner player for the Wizards, and I developed the courage because the game was over at the free throw line, like to ask Mike, "Yo, can I get your shoes?" And you know that MJ smile he just gave me, right? He didn't even effing answer me, man.
So the answer was no.
No,
you got no shoes.
I got nothing.
Laces.
He gave me He gave me that MJ smile. I'm like, bro, hey, you can keep that, you punk. Yeah, but I said that in my head. You know, I didn't say that to him.
I know you did. And it's been 20 years later. You finally got it out.
Yeah, it's good. Just now.
I know. It's good. That's what we're here for. All right, rough one at the pit on Wednesday night. It was Wednesday, right?
Yes, it was Wednesday
night.
All right,
so I want to put this into perspective, right? And it was interesting. I don't know if you heard yesterday. We have Jerry Palm. He's the CBS Sports bracket.
I heard.
And he said, it didn't knock him out, but they got it. He said they're home court heroes, and when you lose at home, it hurts. They have nothing to fall back on. Meaning, and we'll get into what happened, but our big picture, it's a tough loss. It doesn't knock you out, but they're going to have to get one or two good wins on the road in February.
Yeah, I was just over at Barello's today. Just came. It's Friday. Friday meeting group with the fellas. We were talking about that at the table, and I think they really got to win 3, maybe.
3 of those 4?
Because JJ even agrees with me because they're on the road, and obviously they started out the season bad on the road, but you come home and you have a great stance at home, but it just got blown up the other night, and it was totally unexpected. But when we did the post-game show before the Boise State game, I said Boise State is a team that plays very slow, and they're very smart, and they play very well. And they took care of the ball where the Lobos pretty much excel in the passing lanes, getting out in transition. All of that was shut down. When you lose, I'm just going to say, I don't remember how many categories it was, but there's a lot. It's probably like 15. When you lose 13 out of 15 categories, offensive rebounds, points in the paint, turnovers, you can't win.
Boise State always plays well here. They always do. They always play well in the pit. And look, here's the deal. If I'm not telling you I think they're going to lose in Laramie on Tuesday. All right, I'm not telling you that, but that's a tough spot. If they lose in Laramie on Tuesday, all of a sudden it gets tight.
Of course,
very. And then you got Wyoming that's 5-3, and they're playing some good basketball. They got 2 guards that can go. That's averaging like 13 and like 15 points right now. And they got a forward that's playing some pretty good ball. So if Wyoming comes in and they really scouted the Boise State game, you gotta implement some of the same things if you can.
And that's a thing too. If you're in New Mexico, you play 22 games this season.
Yeah.
But yet you saw a game against Boise State where maybe there's still some deficiencies. How much can you adjust or learn this far into the season? Because one of the things that stood out is the execution in half-court sets. When this team's not playing fast, what do they do when the game is slowed down?
I think they've been doing a great job of more pick and rolls. When I started coming on the show and doing the post-game show, I figured more pick and roll action, you cannot guard it. But when you have a team that knows, hey, the Lobos are not that great from behind the perimeter, right? And what do we want them to do? So Boise State came out, Toppin knocks down 2 threes, right? That's great. Those are bonuses. Not that he can't shoot it, but you got to expect the guards to be able to knock down shots. If they're not knocking down shots, you still got to be able to penetrate the gaps in a 1-3-1, and then it's going to open up something else. Just because you're on the three-point line, and I think this is the old school mentality that I probably have, you don't necessarily have to shoot a 3 to get yourself going. Like, put the ball on the floor. Mid-range shots are some of the highest percentage shots in basketball outside of a layup. So I think the Lobos played a great game, actually. They just couldn't knock down shots.
Kenny Thomas is in. It's Kicking It with Kenny, the former Lobo great. We're talking about last Wednesday's game against Boise State and what's coming up next.
Yeah, you score 78 points at home. You end up giving up 86, and it's what you mentioned. This UNM team has been so good about attacking the passing lane, speeding opponents up, and turning them over. They couldn't do that against Boise State. Yeah. What do you see on the flip side about the half-court defense when you have to defend on those longer sets for you?
The Lobos half-court defense?
Yeah.
I mean, not that the Lobos are not a great defensive team, because Patino's hit that last year. He said, hey, we need to get better. This year, they've obviously have gotten better. You got the bigs playing the passing lanes outside of the backcourt. I feel like the backcourt played a pretty good game. Dant obviously went off last game. And I think Mashburn had about 14, 15 points. That's a great game. But when you have a guy in house that goes 1 for 8, you don't expect him to do that. But he had 7 rebounds. That's huge. And Boise State came out and beat the Lobos on the offensive end and the defensive end when it came to the backboard.
Yeah, House was 1 for 8 from three-point land, 2 for 15 from the field. Just a rough night. And then you got a guy on the other side that's going off. And like you've seen it in the NBA, you've seen it in college basketball. Yeah. Max Rice was silly.
Yeah.
Like silly. Do you just tip your hat and say, because I agree with you. I don't think they played horribly.
Yeah.
Now they lost, and there were areas where you say, all right, they got out rebounded. They've got to shoot better. Defensively, they didn't turn Boise State over, and I give Boise State a ton of credit on that. But what are you doing? Dude's going off like that. I mean, you've been there. Like you see body language. Dudes just drop their heads. Like, damn.
Yeah. And when guys drop their head, it's the thing about Rice. He made 2 or 3 shots down the stretch that were buzzer beaters
right at the end of the shot
clock. So you can't be mad at that. I mean, he's a great shooter. That's what shooters do, especially when you get it going. You keep shooting the ball regardless. And you talk about the Lobos from the standpoint of them being efficient. I feel like they were very efficient. But when you're in the last 2-3 minutes of the game, or a little less than that maybe, you can't go 2 or 3 possessions. I think it was 3 possessions without even a shot attempt. Yeah. And you're playing at home. So you can't blame Patino like that. Obviously, Patino might take some of that, right? But it's always on the players to a certain extent, because you got to execute.
Right. It's Kenny Thomas. And I want to talk about going on the road. If there was a knock on Dave Bliss's teams and your teams, it was the road, right? It was going on the road and the struggles. And look, back then it was Thursday, Saturday. You would go on those road trips. You go to BYU on Thursday, Utah on Saturday. You go to Wyoming on Thursday. You go to Colorado State on Saturday. It's broken up and it's different now. But going on the road, you look at the next 4. They're in Laramie on Tuesday to play Wyoming. They come home, play a UNLV team who beat them soundly.
Yeah.
Then they go to Reno and San Diego. Okay, so 3 of the next 4 are tough spots. I may have even asked you this before. It's the same size court, same rims. College basketball to me is the biggest home court advantage, period, in sports, right? It's the arenas, it's the altitude, it's the people. What is it that makes going on the road so insanely difficult?
One, it's about where you're going. And I think mentally now, with me being older, when I was younger, I think mentally it was like, We're the better team.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go in here and win this game. And what do you do naturally? You let your guard down. You don't come out like with the same energy you would when I was playing in front of 18,000 people a night. I don't care if we were playing.
You have a bad day, you come down the ramp, there's 18,000 people, boom, you're on.
You can't have a bad day. Like that instant rush is there, right? When you go to like a place like Wyoming, you gotta get up.
And there won't be a lot of people there. It's going to be a Tuesday night, and there'll be about 4,000 people.
Terrible, really gloomy. Cool. They're brown and gold colors. The energy, the vibe. It just happens. And I think I lost down there. I lost the Air Force, but it just happens. And you have to get off to a good start, because the way Wyoming is playing right now, 5-3, and they're playing some good ball, and they just beat Colorado State, I think, in overtime the other night. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Not just the mindset on the road, but playing the game of basketball. It's, there's a bunch of cliches for a reason, and basketball being a game of runs, just being able to handle things in the moment, not knowing that a coach can't call timeout after every possession, but being able to be on the floor as a team and handle those runs that go against you that are ultimately going to come.
Yeah,
again.
I mean, that's a great subject, because runs, that's a part of any sport, I think. It just happens, right? And momentum and the energy, all of that comes into play. The Boise State game, I was like, they're up 10. The Lobos, right? In the beginning, I think. And then next thing you know, here we are, Boise State's going to go on a run. And I think the Lobos were trying to do certain things and pressing too much from the standpoint of, hey, we got to get out and run. We need to do what we're supposed to be doing. But the ultimate thing when it came to what Boise State did, Tyson, they had the big fella bringing up the ball. And I think that even slowed up things even more. And you didn't have House or Dent on the ball as far as picking up, as far as pressure is concerned.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to switch over to the NBA. I'm really interested in your thoughts on some of the big stuff in the NBA. And we'll get Kenny. And Kenny played 11 years in the National Basketball Association.
Can't believe it sometimes.
Yeah. Why?
It doesn't seem real sometimes.
I mean, I knew you could do it. I was like,
you can do it.
You can do it. Tyrese Halliburton came out this week and kind of complained a little bit about the 65 game rule, that to be eligible for All NBA, which means bonuses, to be eligible for MVP. Man. Should you have to work 3/4 of your work days? We'll talk to Kenny and his thoughts on it, and other stuff about all the offense in the NBA. It's Kicking It with Kenny on the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
The Super Bowl matchup is set.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Load management, where players were missing a lot of games, and it was diluting the product. The television partners were upset, the fans were upset. So you have to play 65 of 82 games to get into consideration for postseason awards to be all NBA. And if you're all NBA, then you are eligible for Supermax. Tyrese Halliburton could be all NBA, could be $40 million more to him. It basically is a bonus. And he says it's a stupid rule that you have to play work 3/4 of your work time. I equated it earlier. If an NFL player has a target, if you rush for 1,200 yards, you get bonus. You're hurt for 4 games, and you only get to 1,120, you don't get bonus. Where you come out of this?
I mean, when I started my big contract in Philadelphia, my first year, my bonus was the average 10 rebounds. So that was more of an incentive thing, right? So after I got to 10, it would go up to 11, 12. I never passed 10. My first year, I got the double-double. So I totally get it. I totally get it from the standpoint of that's money. You know it's there. You have an opportunity to be able to get it. And he's making almost $60 million a year, right? He just signed a big contract.
A year.
And with the salary cap being 135 million now, fans are coming out to see these guys play, period, man. And the tickets are not cheap. So, like, when Charles Barkley said that, I totally agree. Like, play if you can. And does it come down to, it's always one of those guys that's the top guy that's always sitting out. You never see any of the other guys sitting out to a certain extent, or you don't hear about it.
You don't hear about it. Yeah.
But if you're hurt, you're hurt. And
that's a bummer, dude. If you're hurt, you're hurt, and that's an offshoot of this rule. But if you're hurt, you're still getting your salary. You're still, in this case, getting your almost $60 million. You're not getting bonus if you don't play 3/4.
$60 million.
I know. Look,
to me, it's not like, I don't know what the problem is. If you don't play games, you shouldn't be an all-NBA player. Because we're just going to say here, and it's easy. You could be like, oh, Joel Embiid, we think he's the best center in the league. But if he doesn't play half the season, you can just hand him an MVP because you think he's the best center. There's an element of your performance to all this.
I like it. You have to pay a certain amount of games, period. And you're making money, and you're a commodity, and you're supposed to come out and you got to perform for everybody. And guys were, you gotta think about it. Like, guys that were hurt, they were just getting in the All-Star game just because of their names to a certain extent, right? So then here you are, that's more bonus money for the actual individual. But now I like it because you're giving guys that are actually playing consistently throughout the year, that's not a superstar, they might get an opportunity to be a reserve. So that's my take on it a little bit.
One of the things we've talked about a lot too is just the outrageous, not just team scoring, but player scoring. In the NBA, the 70-point games, 60-point games. Well, the NBA is noticing, and Joe Dumars actually had a comment on Wednesday. He said it's just where the game is today, that they're not worried that anything's wrong with it. It's just kind of an offensive time.
I think we've spoken about this before, and the league, I think Steph Curry came in and changed that to where points. And everybody's shooting deep threes. People are starting to shoot threes from from half court. Dame Lillard, those guys are setting a different tone, and this league is about offense. And you got Joel Embiid, that's a center, scoring 70 points in 30-something, like 36 minutes. That's insane. And he's big and he's slow. So it's one of those things. He's very efficient, and the game is just evolving.
Did Lakers beat Boston last night without LeBron and Anthony Davis?
In Boston?
In Boston.
Oh.
So on the road, without AD, without LeBron, they went and beat Boston.
Yeah, see, this is exactly what we were talking about, right? It's like Wyoming and the Lobos. You go in there and you're the Lakers, you're expecting to actually not win, and then you come out, and then you end up playing some great ball. But Boston, they obviously looked down on them because AD and LeBron was out.
Austin Reeves, the superstar, went for 32. So this is crazy, and I'm waiting for the take and the call. Oh, see, the Lakers are better without AD and LeBron.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's not.
And by the way, Boston, Tatum played 37 minutes. Porzingis played. Drew Holiday played. White played. I mean, they Jaylen Brown played.
Like, that's a classic. You just think you're rolling out the ball and you're going to win that game.
And sometimes these just happen. They just do. Like, sometimes there's a blowout. I think earlier in the season, you saw Boston losing by like 40 or 30
to San Antonio or something,
halftime or something like that. I don't know which.
I think it was against a bad team,
a horrible team.
I think it was San Antonio during the losing streak,
and it was on national TV. And then you got Miami, that was on a 7-game losing streak, and the Kings are on the road right now, and they've been playing some good ball. And then the Kings go and lose to Miami and Miami.
Yeah,
you never know.
One of the things we haven't talked about them yet, but the New York Knicks. Now, they're not Julius Randle's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks, but Jalen Brunson just continues to ball. Had 40 points last night. They beat the Pacers 109-105. Can they win the Eastern Conference? Like, can they be an Eastern Conference Finals team?
Well, when it comes to the East, you never know what's going to happen. You got those 3 to 4 teams that are typically up there. Now you got the Knicks that are playing some great ball. I played against Brunson's dad in the NBA, Rick, and great guard. And obviously his son has evolved into the player that he is today. The nice thing about it is when he came out of Villanova, he was the star, right? And then you come to the Knicks and you develop in being that go-to guy. When you're able to do that and carry it over, I feel like you have so much more confidence, and I feel like his confidence is just growing.
All right, what do you got going on?
So I think the Knicks could possibly be in the top 2, top 3.
That's saying something. And meanwhile, Milwaukee hasn't won yet with Doc Rivers as the head coach, have they?
Yeah, that's interesting. What do I have going on?
You got a wine tasting coming up.
Yes, my guy.
Yeah,
at the Pit, UNLV, this coming Saturday.
Next Saturday, week from tomorrow.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow. Hey,
yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm here for.
It's against UNLV. I think it's on the 10th. 6 o'clock game. I will be up in the club level area doing a wine tasting of my wine. Come up there and try it out.
All right. It's good to see you. We'll catch you Tuesday here, and then you'll be on post game with Brandon over on News Radio KQB after the Lobos in Wyoming next Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
All right. When we come back, I am an a-hole, says our text line. No, I mean, it says it a couple times. I've been called an a-hole a couple times. I'll tell you why. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, home for Super Bowl 58.
Telling it like it is.
So I don't think the organization is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay. Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own.
I really enjoy it. You guys are great. Good stuff and interesting stuff. Well, and I mean, y'all hate. Well, I should say y'all. One dude certainly does not like me. Here on the text line 505-246-0610, the text line and the phone line. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. We were talking a little bit earlier about the prop bets on Taylor Swift. One texter says they literally show her for a total of 30 seconds on the entire broadcast. Their complaints say a lot more about them than it does about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I agree with that. I get it. And then there's this from the hate line. All right, so this is from I'll give you the full context. So we're talking about earlier today the limits that the NFL puts on its employees, anybody employed by the NFL or any of the NFL teams, on gambling. They're not allowed to be in a sports book. They're not allowed, like NFL employees are not allowed to gamble at all, period. And so this is all from the same number. It says, quite annoyingly, the NFL prohibits team employees from betting on sports while it makes boatloads of money through gambling companies and pushes it through partners, including the media. The NFL should allow betting by its employees, provided it not be events they are directly involved in, a la the Fab Five at Michigan under Steve Fisher, skewing point results on games they played in. Okay. I'm going to disagree because I can see the problem there. Even if you're not directly involved, you played for. I played for the Browns now, but I played for the Rams, and they're playing this weekend in the playoffs. And my best buddy's their left tackle, and he's hurt, and I know he's out. And he's telling me the quarterback may not play, and I've got inside information. Right? And that
there's nothing annoying about it. The NFL is making money. That money then filters down through the system to everyone else who's working in the NFL. And if you are desperate to bet on sporting events, then leave the NFL or leave whatever it is. It's not that hard to wrap your head around.
So the same phone number then says, Jeff says there's no football this weekend. Who cares what Jeff says? Again, the idiotic a-hole, but it doesn't say a-hole. The idiotic a-hole Jeff says people hate the successful, while stating he needs help understanding matters around him, all while the very limited Jeff dismisses due criticism of the successful. Yet the ultimate annoyance is, that is KNML Jeff, is he stupidly and quite a-holedly, is that a word? States the same BS argument of his every 3 weeks or so. The world needs less Jeff S. Okay? The beauty is... sorry. Look, I told you I'm not going to run from any of this. I'm going to read them if you send them to me. I'm not going to run from criticism of me. So I'm stupid. I'm an a-hole. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiotic. I'm stupid. I'm an a-hole. I'm limited. That's a lot of criticism from someone who
Limited.
texts every single day and listens every day. I hope he has a diary. I'm not going to run from it. It's there. Which argument do I state every 3 weeks or so? And how did I? So I dismissed. No, this is really, isn't that a lot? Dismissed due criticism of the successful. So sometimes you're not aware. You lose self-awareness. I'm leaning on you guys. Help me get better. Where do I dismiss the due criticism of the successful? If I have a differing opinion of this texter, I am. Let me run through the whole thing. I'm ignorant. I'm an idiotic a-hole. I am very limited. I'm stupid. I'm a-holedly. Pretty good, huh? I could write a song, by the way. Should I put that on my bio?
I'm just wondering about the new word, where he came up with that one. But yeah, that sounds like a bio. I think
Yeah, no, I'll put it on my bio.
Little ghostwriter action.
Yeah.
So thank you to the texter on that.
Yeah, no. Thank you for participating. We appreciate it, and thank you for making the show better. All right. Dan says, Lady Lobos win, ? Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Daniil Chris. Deneal. You like that one? Daniil Chris? You're shaking. All right. It's too bad Bradbury didn't play the kind of non-conference schedule to make this game really meaningful, says Dan. How do you feel about that?
They didn't play a hard non-conference schedule. They weren't expecting to be in this position right now.
Yeah.
If they would have lost those games in non-conference play. The team wasn't ready to go then. They're not the same type of team they are now. And it is so hard in women's basketball to crack that at large. It's like that.
Especially
we
coming
talk
out of this
about
league.
the
Yeah.
gaps in athletics. It is unbelievable, the gaps when it comes to trying to be an at-large team from a non-power conference in women's basketball.
Yeah, I think, and we've watched that, right? I mean, I don't know what the numbers are.
Like if this team, when you look at the COVID year on the road, where they won the Mountain West regular season title, essentially playing more road games than anyone in the nation.
Yeah.
And they go to Las Vegas, they lose in Las Vegas, but then they can't even get a sniff in the NCAA tournament.
And that would have been a year, right?
Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Fair enough. Mike says Jason and Jerome have been very quiet lately, Jeff Alou. It's from Mike. Yeah. No, look, New Mexico State, those are the two New Mexico State supporters. New Mexico State won last night. They beat Liberty in overtime. They're 9-1 at home. Their only loss was that 1 point loss to the Lobos. But that's not the headline coming out of the 79-73 overtime win. The headline is, the national story is, that their forward Robert Carpenter got thrown out of the game for throwing a punch and hitting Shiloh Robinson of Liberty in the face. I mean, square, like, wound up and slugged and like slugged the dude in the face and dropped him. Just dropped him. And Richie McKay charged out, the Liberty head coach. I mean, he was choked, and he should have been. Jason Hooten is New Mexico State's coach. Said he's a really good kid, but he said there's no room for that at all. Jason Hooten also said that's not the way we're going to do things here at New Mexico State University. My rule is he won't play on Saturday. Well, yeah. And I'm going to guess that the league is going to have a little say in beyond Saturday.
They might.
What do you think? I mean, no. That's a flagrant 2. For winding up, there's no, this was a basketball move, this happens. For a dude just winding up and punching a dude in the face in the middle of play. And I'm not hating on New Mexico State.
No, dude, just punched the guy. Straight up.
This got to be more than one game.
It wasn't some, like, just jolting out, forearm, weird spinning back fist. You right hook.
All right, you're the commissioner. What do you give?
Absolutely, like 2 or 3 games.
This is 3 games.
Yeah, at least.
This is a 3-game suspension. You can't punch a dude in the face. Have you seen it yet? Have you looked at it?
I have, actually, and the way he casually just ran back to play defense,
like nobody saw it.
Yeah, like like nobody saw it. Like he might have gotten away with it, and then of course they blow the whistle right away. But I don't really know how they hand out punishments in the NCAA. But when I see that, I see a player who shouldn't be playing the rest of the season.
So you think the whole? I don't have a huge problem with that.
I mean, he just cold cocked that guy. That's
all right. Here's
egregious.
one where I'm going to tell you institutionally, and while I will absolutely acknowledge that Robert Carpenter, the player who threw the punch, had nothing. He wasn't at New Mexico State last year, nor was the head coach Jason Hooten. But because of what this conjured up in the national conversation, and you can tell me he's a victim of circumstance, but he created this circumstance, right? JJ, because of what they went through last year, you almost have to internally come down a lot harder.
Yes.
You flat out have to say, we are not doing that here, and you're out for and something significant. And does it hurt your basketball team? It does. And you're in third place in your conference, and it sucks. Dude did this to himself. There's no one else to blame. And I understand that neither he nor this coaching staff nor anybody on the basketball program was here last year and had anything to do with it. But that's the program that got shut down because of all those hazing allegations. You have got to, at the top, this is where, the more I've thought about it this morning, you've got to make a statement, man. We are not playing this game. Something serious has to come down here, right?
Multiple game suspension for punching a dude in the face on the basketball court.
Can't do it. 505-246-0610. An Aggie fan, I'm listening to you too. Like, where are you on this? Certainly very quiet.
But if you're an Aggie fan, like, you're just, as a fan, you're throwing your hands up going, really, dude?
I know.
Like, because all it does is stir up everything else.
I know.
But that's part of the story for a headline like this. Oh, and by the way, this was a team that last year, here's what they went.
And you're starting to move past it, right? I mean, you're literally starting to move past it. That's not the first thing that you think of with Aggie basketball right away. Ron sent me an email. He says, Jeff, is that your, on that texter, Jeff, is that your ex-significant other? Maybe. Who sent those texts? Maybe. Or maybe it's someone I don't even know. The dude was probably a beast on the middle school playground for cut down contests. What a tool. Okay. Gene, you want to talk about the Aggies? Good morning, Gene. You're on the Sports Animal.
Morning. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
So my take on it is it's not going to stop on a one-game suspension. It's going to continue on.
Yes.
I say they hit him with, a complete season. You know what I mean? And maybe it'll stop. Maybe these guys will stop taking advantage of, going out there and just throwing blows.
So the rest of the season, or like a complete season, like until this point next year?
To this point next year.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying a full year. All right, Gene. Appreciate you.
I mean, that's the only way it's going to stop, man.
Yeah, no, that's
see this continually,
Yeah, no, that's harsh. Appreciate you. So does it matter if he's a first-time offender, has done anything in the past? I mean, coach says he's a good kid. Fran Fraschilli used to say that all the time. Oh, he's a great kid if you only knew, right?
I don't feel that strongly because that is straight up sins of the past. I'm saying, well, we have to make an example out of this player because of what all those other players did, and none of those people are still at the university or with the program.
Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Hello. I got that same thing you got, Jeff.
Yeah, smooth jazz voice.
Smooth voice.
Yeah.
I'm now FM DJ.
Late night now. Get close. Snuggle up.
I don't know what you going around, but it knocked me. I don't know what the proper punishment is, but it keeps happening at New Mexico State. That's the issue.
Yeah, but it's hard for me to blame administration for a guy swinging and taking a shot at a guy on the basketball court. It felt, everything I've heard, Jason Hooten's recruited the right kind of kid and doing things the right way. And then this happens. And so I don't know enough about this young man. I don't know Robert Carpenter at all, other than, I know where he played. And but it's hard for me to, blame the athletic director for a dude swinging and taking a punch on a basketball court.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the whole atmosphere of that program. Yeah. This keeps happening, whether it's the administration or not. whether it's kids you're bringing in or not, whether Carpenter's a good kid or not. He's a good kid. You don't punch somebody. There's no place for that. I mean, after the Rudy Tomjanovich, Kermit Johnson debacle, I don't know if you remember that one. A lot of people out there aren't old enough to remember that one. But
Kermit Washington. Kermit Washington.
Yeah, Kermit Washington, excuse me. Tomjanovich almost died.
Yeah, dude. No,
That's what
Kermit
happened out
Washington
there.
broke his face. Kermit Washington literally broke his face. Yes. Ended
And,
his
you know,
career.
It's funny. Rudy was coaching for the Houston Rockets, and I went down there to see Kenny play a game, and I'm at practice, and you could just see his face. It looked like somebody had just taken a tire iron to it. So
Really did.
There's no place for that in basketball. It's a rough enough game, and to sucker punch a guy like that, I don't know. Maybe the rest of the season.
Regular season
but
or the
one
full
thing-
season?
Regular season, yeah. But one thing's for certain, they got to come down hard on this. Because now the reputation of the university is really starting to suffer.
No, that's right.
Because it keeps happening.
And that's why I think internally that, you know, the one game, and Jason said he's not playing on Saturday, and that's fine after the game. I kind of feel they got to come out today and say, and it's not really their MO to get out in front of these things, but you know, it's like, yeah, that's unacceptable. He feels horrible about it, and it's out of character, but he's out for 3 games, or he's out for the rest of the regular, or whatever. One game is pretty insufficient on this.
And by the way, get out to the game Saturday if you want to see some basketball. I've been really interested in to see this game coming up, and with UNLV losing at home, you know that we're going to get their best shot Saturday. But I think the women's basketball team is up for this game. They found something, and what they found is defense. And you keep playing defense like that, you can beat a lot of people.
Find out tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend, Rudy.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right. So he's saying the rest of the season. The other Gene said a full year, calendar year. More than one, certainly.
Oh, yes, of course.
What did Jim Harbaugh say? Multiple?
Yeah, multiple.
I mean, I feel bad, and JJ, your term is sins of the past. And is it unfair to this young man that he should suffer for sins of the past? Kind of.
Well,
but he created the situation.
Yeah, I don't think for a calendar year.
Yeah.
But still, when you sock someone like that on the floor, regardless of what happened, that's a multiple game suspension.
And even if you guys weren't there, you're at New Mexico, you know what happened. You know that there's going to be thinner ice than you might be skating on somewhere else, right? You had nothing to do with what happened last. I'm not holding anybody responsible for last year. But what are people talking about New Mexico State? It's the third story on ESPN's headlines right now.
When I see that, I really do wonder if the kid's going to get arrested.
I mean, that's a really, 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 really fair ask. That's assault, is it not?
That
I
would
don't
be
know. Rudy's a lawyer, not me.
a first. It's not the first punch we've seen on a basketball court in the recent
Dude, that was such a sucker punch. Dude's going down the floor and he catches.
They're always a sucker punch. 9 out of 10 times, it's a sucker punch.
It's just like, you're a big man, dude. You want to fight? Let's fight. Let's square up and let's fight. No, honestly, and we don't need that. I'm not encouraging that. But
All right,
I
Ron
sure
Artest.
hell rather see that than a dude sucker punch a guy running down the floor playing basketball. Wouldn't you? At least the guy's got a chance to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fight? Let's fight. I'm not encouraging fighting on the basketball floor, but at least the guy's got a chance to defend himself. We'll give away the last set of tickets. We got 2 more to go see Bert Kreischer. This is funny dude. Tops Off World Tour. It's going to be Sunday. You got Sunday night free, 7 o'clock, Rio Rancho Event Center. You want to go out? We got 2 more tickets, and they can be yours. And call 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. Call now. Caller 4 gets those tickets, courtesy of your good friend DC at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Next to mine.
is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
524-6061 as we get ready for the weekend. 888-922-0610. Is that Gene? Oh, no, you're answering that now. Wait. Here's what you got to know as you go through your day today. And this is what we're talking about.
Jeff's an a-hole.
But I'm an a-hole, 100%. And I'm down on that. I'm stupid. What else was I? Here, I mean, I'll get
this. You know what, Jeff?
What?
That is a classic.
Move
on. Little rocks getting watered type of deal.
No, that's right. What does my brother say? Responding to the trickle of one, right? It's where he's the one, dude. Why do you even water the rocks? Right? Nothing's going to grow.
Question.
You give so much time to the negative, and why water the rock? Nothing grows. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Idiotic. Stupid, a-holedly.
No, he's looking for those words to describe yourself on a resume.
Yeah, no,
so
I got
there
him
you
now. No, I got him now. All right, Teddy Bridgewater. Did he retire? He's a coach of his high school alma mater now. Teddy Bridgewater. He retired just the other day, and now he's got a new job.
Good old two-glove Teddy.
That's right.
Came close. He was backup for the Lions this year.
He came really close. All right, what are people going to be talking about? New Mexico State was a winner last night. Aggies beat Liberty 79-73, and Richie McKay, the former Lobo coach, was coaching down there for Liberty. But that's not the story. The story is Robert Carpenter, their forward, punched Shiloh Robinson from Liberty in the face, and that the video is everywhere. And he's out for the next game. But how much longer should he be out? And I guess we'll hear some of that. Coaching news: Jim Harbaugh yesterday met the media for the first time. Said they're going to win multiple championships, not 2, not 3. And asked the question today: Where do we land on this? Was he more legit because he has been to a Super Bowl and won a national championship in college, more so than LeBron when he had done nothing, when he said that?
I know LeBron hadn't done anything, but when you're the best player in the game, which LeBron was at that point, you can still say.
All right. Thanks to Nike McClure and to Kenny Thomas. Both were in here today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men Ons here at 4 o'clock. We're back Monday morning at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio. DC, great week. Great week. Adrian, terrific week. And it was a challenge this week. We've been all over the place. And you had a lot of remote and different stuff. Big weekend for you?
Huge weekend.
All right. JJ's on tomorrow, 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock tip right here on the Sports Animal. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we will smell you on Monday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oakey, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.